up your credit scores because remember, just will be expiring at the 31st of December in 2023.
Yeah! So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going directly to the ban and peak pace. Remember, this is the vinyl lower record. This is their last chance before they are going up to the grand final.
And after that, still we can see most of it can be set as a template ban, and well, it is still in meta also. To remember on that, well, on the side of GPX Basreng, they've taken out the Kaja and also the Baxia, remembering that it is quite a stronghold for RQ Mika, Mika's draft. And from RQ Mika's side, they've closed in on that Nolan and also the Guinevere. Remember, two of these heroes that we've got to see in action in the playoffs in day number 1 and day number 2. Whoever got to take it will be just utilizing it way too well. And from the side of GPX Basreng, closing in the first banning phase is actually the Joy. Knowing that the high mobility usage for this hero, RQ Mika, if I'm not mistaken, did use the Joy once from Lele.
I think
she dominated the XP lane.
Definitely. She is using that Joy with a lot of joy, definitely with tons of damage as well. So I think like for Joy, in terms of RQ Mika's side, it was pretty obvious, or maybe like sometimes flax to the Lele or Tan, but it was a respectful ban towards Lele, despite that we know that actually Joy can be countered with the presence from the Franco that can be used by Tal. She is using that Franco really well, to be honest, from the side of GPX, but no, without that, I think like it's just like prevention over things that might happen. For the side of RQ Mika, Veramis has been banned here from the side of RQ, but the Diggy first pick coming from GPX Basreng says a lot actually. They can combo it with Bruno, they can try to use it as a prevention over CC that can be brought by Mika, but Mika answered with a IMU coming from Valentina. It means that they can replicate any kind of skills GPX will have.
Okay, after that they've locked in that Fredrin. We can see that classical Fredrin being used by Don, and seeing these two heroes as a starting pick in the first base, I could say that RQ Mika is actually going into that a stronghold lineup that we're
team fight kind of. It seems like that way, right? It seems like they might be going for a Ruby or even going for a big CC, a big AoE. A Beatrix can be used as well if they want and planning to do so. But with these two heroes that been picked by GPX Basreng, it means that they will have tons of vision, you know, with the alarm bomb or time bomb coming from Diggy, and then the Novaria right there with the Astral. It was pretty good one, but just like what we thought before, it's a huge possibility that they will try to combo it with a Bruno. It means that they are on this early stage of GPX Basreng gold lane. It will be a tough one for our Kimika side. They can try to counter it or maybe try to answer it using a Brody or even going for a Beatrix. But if they want to go for an aim for the backline, Cloud definitely gonna be a good one. Or even a Yuzong that can be picked by the side of our Kimika.
Okay, forecasting quite on point here for Village. And for the next part, we're going to see onto the second banning phase here. It would be nice from RQ Mika to close off maybe a jungler option, like for example maybe a Martis would actually be really good too. But and other on that, they still haven't have that EXP lane. One of its Terizla is actually really taken out.
Because Terizla back again with those CC and that backliner kind of drop coming from GPX Basreng, that would be amazing. But there you go, banning over the Hilda here, not letting anyone to try to conquer the position of the Novaria or even the Diggy here, because they might be going for a surprise attack. But the Martis that you are mentioning actually a very good one. But Remembering that GPX Basreng doesn't have enough CC, Akai is still one of the best options, to be honest, from the side of GPX Basreng. Unless they might not going for that and try to use a Cho on the EXP or something else, which is not a recommendation right now. But we know that actually Violet is very good using the Paquito. So with those heroes that is being picked by our Mika, it might be the chance coming from them. But I was expecting something else that can be chasing that Valentina or even the Cloud, or at least someone who can be a disturbance for our Mika later on. But definitely I prefer someone who is pretty tanky to hold all of the damage later.
And after 10 heroes are finally banned off, we would like to see from our Mika, would a surprise hero or a signature hero been picked off, or will they go to their strategic pick phase? So from Gyokoi here, EXP laner, we're going to see that, I think, Ruby, yeah.
It did, Ruby, and anyone who can try to pick up somebody from the side of a GPX Basreng, or if they want to go for something different, they might want to go for an Angela that can go with a Fredrin to go directly and dive it into the side of GPX Basreng, remembering that Bruno along with that with going really good. But this is the same kind of concept, you know. They're having the CZ and they know how to dive into the backline. I think like they always try to answer it that way. Last time they were facing Novaria, if I'm not mistaken, they are using the Grok because they really want to use the wild charge to able to reach Novaria, who is staying behind off the back.
That dash, that extra movement, and also a bit of a stun here with the wild charge. I do really agree on that. How GP Basreng would need to watch out for this rock. It could be an initiator. It also can be a EXP laner that we've never known. Maybe that classical Groxin would be out.
Possibly.
And from the side of GP Basreng, as I was told, if the Mortis is actually let loose and it's on the loose, it will be just gladly be secured by GPX Basreng, leaving the Edith and also the Mortis on their hands. But Mika as a last pick, will that Grok will be an EXP laner or even a roamer?
It's a high chance that from the side of Mika, they will try to go for another side of EXP. They might be going for a Benedetta right here, since like the Grok is so much better to be pulled out as the roamer. But because I think like it's so much better that way. I mean like the Grok plus Valentina clear off the wave, it's just gonna be like easier to punish the mid lane, especially going for this Novaria. And also like with the presence coming from the Benedetta, it was another chances for the side of our Mika to be able to go for the backline from the side of GPX Basreng and try to reach out for the backliner. Actually, it's quite 50-50 coming from both of the sides here, coming from the draft that they are having. To be honest, like GPX or Arki, both of them have the strength. Like for the GPX side, they have that Diggy that with Bruno that can combo in the early stage here, with the Diggy and Bruno dominating into the early
To see how this all plays out. So let's welcome them again to the Land of Dawn onto match number 7 here onto the day for a final lower bracket for GPX Basreng versus RQ Mika.
Yeah, we will see what is actually gonna be happening for this one, GPX or RQ Mika. Who will win this one? How?
Okay, finding a good way, still on an early start here. We're going to find which player is going to be picked off first.
Yeah. As for GPX, now in the top lane, Chincha was struggling pretty hard right here, and Liffy might be securing for the movement right there, pushing back for Chincha, and Chincha will need some time. For the movement to be done here. But yeah, that was an amazing movement coming from the side of our Mika. The drop was pretty pretty interesting coming from both of the sides, but back again, if we are talking about the drop coming from both of the sides, they really need to consider their winning condition. Like for Ash, she needs the item that she wants, like the Demon Hunter Sword, Golden Staff, definitely for that attack speed for this Cloud to work on, while for the Caramel, she really needs to try to snowballs.
Okay, even though it's tried to snowball, three players from RQ Mika are actually just aiming and pounding on that Mortis right there in the early, so Ash wouldn't be picked off here right in the early. So then again, with the BMI, it's quite flexible, and yet Funny needs to go back first and find a great way of a mechanism moving on to the middle lane, clearing up the waves because Dawn and also the Grok is just right on right ready for the first neutral objective of the game. But on the bottom side though, a flicker pulled out defensively by Violet needs to work out pretty well because that turtle is going to be a bit of a hectic there. RQ Mika has started by Dawn, wants to try to commit in all of that, but then again, the Primal Rat has been popped off by Livy, but so far still playing calm, cool, collected because nobody really wants to initiate that much first. Caramel tried to find a great way, but Livy had just have Nick saved in a nick of a time for Lele, getting that Astral Recall in the right moment.
Yeah. And you know what? Violet was like, I will try to give the information as much as I can, but Tan directly securing that objective. Well, Violet, I don't think she will be able to survive this one. First blood from the side of our Mika. And for Caramel, she is forced to get back without anything that she can do regarding the turtle.
A quite clean execution though, technically, during that game, but Caramel, a bit of a problem there. But sadly, Lele couldn't be too much aggressive to play on here because if you're going in too deep, Mortis is still in that early stage for that jungler. But even so, Lele was brave enough to pull on that cut lane that deep, even until between the second and third tires, just too much. But on the top side though, they are just trying to find a great move here.
I think like they just want to have something to hold the damage, but look at that tall will be forced with wall charge along with the barrier to stop the movement coming from GPX Basreng Caramel. The position being forced hit by the side of Mika.
Okay, getting in again, helping with a lot, but from GPX Basreng, they really need to defend that turret. But RQ Mika, Livy, with that bit of a blood, still have a 1 HP, needs to go back first.
Needs to get back first, needs to rearrange what they want or they need to do, and forcing it later to the side of Team GPX. But there you go, RQ Mika, after seeing those kind of pressure that can be given, Lily was like, okay, we will try to get an advantage by clearing the way first, going for another side, and try to maybe rotate earlier compared to Edith here. That's why we can see that actually Lily is quite active to join several of the wars to have a better condition for RQ later on, since like RQ right now moving in the 2-2-1 condition, like Tan was following or maybe going for objectives, while the rest of Yagoi along with Livy directing to the other lane, or Lele with also Ash.
Okay, just try to barge in with the Astral Eco, revealing everybody's location except for Lele. Okay, with the art onward and the Earth Shatter getting in again, but the turtle has been secured by Funny with all of that Titan and that even that Blazing Duet popping off again. Caramel being in the front line and a secure double kill from Violet, but Lele is not giving up, trying to secure that kill, but too much overextending wouldn't be a very good variable.
And now Livy able to survive from that condition. It's just like a very good one, not going further for the side of Team GPX. But there you go. From the side of GPX Basreng right now, they are not really like leading. Based on the gold, it's pretty much the same coming from both of the sides, but Ash doing some rotation to the bottom lane because she knows that actually after the push coming from GPX Basreng and taking that turret, definitely GPX Basreng will rotate more to that area, since like the vision is on the side of GPX, while for the RQ Mika, they really need spaces for Ash to join later on to climb up the pile of gold here to have the item that she needs on the mid game to the late game.
Okay, but so far so good. Still calm, collected, finding great moments trying to pick off which one could be a squishy target. Astral Eco going up again, trying to bit of a burst, wild charge, and a time journey pop off again. Yogoi being in the front line, taking all of that damage, pulling in onto Violet with the Primal Wrath, having that skill, even though Funi is being the one taking it. And even a decimation copied from the IMU is just clearly got in a nick of time. Bit of a burst there, taking it down. But Violet, it's too tanky right in the middle here, leaving that Caramel trying to force up their way. But for Mark Mika, they really need to defend on that with the Blazing Duet trying to pop off again from the bottom lane, but with a BMI in a nick of a time saved and need to move back.
Ha 7 minutes inside of the land of dawn. It's going a little bit to the mid game right here. As far as we know, the turtle right now is still the focus over the Archimika. Like, we know how objective they are over the turtle or even going to the Lord. And now, with that being said, Caramel was trying so hard to try to counter it back, and even Lily coming with the Phantom Slash, and now Astral and Caramel able to secure that turtle right here, but Tan tried to force it back to the side of Caramel, and Caramel still using the Mortal Coil to get back, and the time journey helping Caramel to be able to go back, and Funi securing the kill towards Lily, and it's not stopping there. Look at that one. Oh ho, Violet still trying to go for that Tan, but Tan reverse time happened. Oh, sadly, Funi unable to secure that second kill on the hand of GPX Basreng.
Was able to dodge all of that, only picking off one hero here, still in a good problem here. But so far, let's look at the item builds right here. The Martis has secured one of the anti-curious going off against this phase. But for the Bruno, that Haas Claw and also that Berserker's Fury would build up that crit that much. But so far from the Novaria and even the Diggy, still with an enchanted talisman, and it is scaling up with that lightning truncheon.
Definitely.
But on the other side of Mika, they really got a chance to build up one or two items too, but still not finished yet, because remember that there is a 2,000-ish gold lead. It will be a problem though, because they need to finish up those items quickly to catch up to GPX Basreng.
Yeah. So right now for GPX, they're leading by 2,000, 2.5k gold right here, where our Kimika again, despite the GPX Basreng is winning and leading by the gold, remember that Ash is still very free. We need also to be careful over that. We need to consider that Ash can join the war later on with that Blazing Duet dealing tons of damage, because so far all of the wars that happen, I don't think that there is a presence coming from Ash that is impacting in the big war, unless it was like some pickups that is on the lane or the presence nearby Ash itself. So well, right now Chinchao going to the top, securing over the objective.
Well, I actually can say how Ash's plays out in the lane also. Need to remember that her KDA is 002, so it doesn't really have that much of a gain, rather comparing to Chinchao. Even both KDAs are the same, but the levels are different. The way they farm and they got that gold lead is also different. So both marksmen actually need to watch out, because I would say dragging into the late game, it would be harder for Mika to finish up everything that they've started. Because for the scaling onto the late game, that late game insurance is actually in the hands of Chinchao.
So Chinchao right now, the main key here for the side of GPX, and Chinchao securing 2 ults is just the same like Ash here, but the Lord is almost been taken by the side of GPX, and it will be taken like that. Violet jumping in, that Primal, and also the Astral that has been popped on, trying to neglect the damage. Gyokoi also running away from that. Caramel unable to get close to the player of Team Araki while on the top lane. We are seeing that Ash doing some split push here, taking one turret and try to distract player of GPX.
Okay, from Ash I could see that attack speed has been increasing, also trying to get a lot of the junglers trying to switch out from the Fredrin. And looking at the item builds right here, the Cloud, see that attack speed has been secured with 2 core items, following up with the Golden Staff, helping in also with the Astral Eco, barging in with all of that onward, and also the Staging Age with that time journey popping off onto the backline with the Blazing Duet, taking Jin Chao down. But Livy needs to be sacrificed here, leaving only Violet itself, with Ash trying to scale up a lot of damage, and also a clean shutdown with a triple kill, leaving Caramel herself to defend all of that.
BMI haven't been used yet. Ash will be decimated, I guess, and shut down in the head of Karma. But on the other hand, Gyogoi also securing Caramel a shutdown here. I think from this instant replay we can see like all of the damage that is given by the side of GPX was coming really cool and really great. But back again, I was mentioning as haven't joined a big war, and well, she joined. It was a pretty huge damage that is distributed by Ash, and it was taking a triple kill on the hand of Ash. Despite that, the position of Caramel at that moment, unable to try to distract this cloud with the Mortal Coil or even the Ashura Aura. And I think for that particular moment, it was a huge disciplined movement coming from Mika. Despite, back again, it was a punishment for Ash because shutdown happens in the head of Caramel.
But I don't think that it would be that much of a fair trade though. GPX got eliminated down, leaving only Caramel herself. She is a jungler, but that giving off the marksman, wouldn't it be a great trade-off?
It's still not a very good one. I mean, like, for the side of our Kimika, I think, like, Ash supposed to be able to survive from that condition. Like, maybe the timing of the BMI is not there. Maybe it's just on cooldown. That's why she's unable to secure it. But Gyogoi was there, right?
I could say also that the movement was actually a bit restricted because of Gyogoi's wall. So that's why Ash couldn't really move that much, and it's pinned down against taking that first-hand damage from the decimation. Gives out too much. So that's why she's taken bit down. But so far, the second Lord has spawned here, and our Mika is being the one here starting it.
Yeah. They really go for objective gameplay. I've mentioned it before how objective they are, but Livy! It will be go down that fast in the hand of Chinchao. That critical is painful.
Okay, onward and Earth Shatter with a bit of a petrify, but taken down with a double kill from Chinchao. This Bruno is just unstoppable, leaving only in the top lane. That turret needs to be looked out. GPX Basreng and taken down, but on the other hand, in the Lord here, Thon is getting spinned out again with the time journey, popping it up, but Caramel getting that Lord and also securing a killing spree. GPX Basreng in the first game is just too unstoppable.
Oh ho ho ho! To be honest, it was a very confusing moment. You know, at one point, it was a pick off coming, and Livy was being picked off that fast by the damage coming from Chinchao. Look at that one. I mean, a Malefic Roar, Berserker's Fury without any defense towards that. Definitely, Livy will be easily taken down by that. But after Livy being picked off, it was a confusion for our Kimika. Will they start to doing the objective? They will try to force to get the Lord, because if they're forcing it, they will be picked up. That's why there's a split pulse coming for Ash. She was like, I still gonna be able to clear off the Lord here, since like I'm still dealing tons of damage. So she was trying maybe to go on the other side to try to hold it on the high ground. But back again, now the Lord have been marching to the top and will be taking the base turrets.
Okay, Astral Eco revealing all of their reputations, but even one of them needs to be taken down. Ton being the one in the first tier, taking it wide open here, but Funi is just too much. Okay, getting in there with Lele trying to escape in and re-getting for all of that time journey popped off again, but with the onward and the Earth Shatter wasn't really enough to take people down, and with that Blazing Duet and the BMI isn't enough to save their base from GPX turret.
It was a really nice game for GPX with all of the drop that they are having. I mean, we talk about it, like Diggy Bruno, it was a good combo in the early stage, and the Novaria is quite unstoppable. So hard to give the space to Ash, but it keeps I mean, like this snowball coming from this Chinchao, it's coming up. Like how she's having the item that she needs, how she's even the damage is quite questionable. It's just so huge. It is crazy. And how they are reacting to a war is just coming really well. Like Caramel and able to actually do a lot of anti CC to hold the presence coming from Mika. But Yagoi, it was quite hard for her to reach out the backline of GPX. Whenever she wants to go for it, whenever she wants to, okay, I want to go for the back. I want to try to chase down the players from the side of GPX. But whenever I go for it, I need a backup. I need a follow up. That's why when she was trying to use the wall charge here, and there's a follow up, there is a backup here from Ash. It was coming really well because Yugoi, despite that she is very low, but it's still something with a result for Arakimika. Like sometimes the thing that is moving coming from Arakimika is just like, okay, we try to do something, but there is no result because we don't have Ash at that particular moment. So like this one, Ash was on the other side of the map. She knows that someone already been picked up. Lele was gone, Livy was gone, but Araki was like, okay, we still need to do something regarding this Lord. If we are not trying to steal it, it's not gonna be working well. That's why Yogoi tried to back up for Tan, but Ash was on the other side of the map, so they were like, okay, well, maybe do some split post, maybe do something to try to distract from GPX. But at that point, I don't think like GPX will be distracted. They were just, okay, we will have the Lord, we will just go marching in and try to secure this game.
And after all of this, they did secure the game. And let's just go on and review for the match MVP. It will be in the hands of GPX Funi with a 418 KDA, a 86% kill participation, and also a 705 GPM with the item builds, with the enchanted talisman, with the lightning truncheon, with that divine glaive, and even the ice queen one was just able to slow things down, was just able to give a lot of penetration. We're just able to have that cooldown so she can give on continuous damages onto their skills. And with the skill sets of a scoreboard and 8 and 14, with that GPX Basreng holding on to the MVP other than Funi, a few honorable mentions that also I might say Chinchao has scaling that much. Coming on into the backline, giving that time journey just right in the moment where the war popped off. And Caramel is just right there to just surf in with that decimation. Not to mention that Violet, I see a few times that I would like to actually recommend like a bit of